Somewhere in America right now, there's a person who did everything right. They saved aggressively for 15 years, they hit their number, they quit their job. They achieved what millions of people dream about, full financial freedom, years ahead of schedule. And 6 months later, they were miserable. That's not a rare story. It's becoming one of the most common outcomes researchers are finding as more people chase early financial freedom. In just the past year, interest in early retirement has jumped from about a quarter of Americans to well over a third. But here's the part nobody puts in the highlight reel. Study after study is now showing that a huge number of people who reach financial freedom early end up feeling lost, restless, and strangely empty, not because they ran out of money, but because they ran out of something else entirely. So today, we're going to break down what that something else actually is. Because if you're chasing financial freedom just to hit a number, I need to show you why that number alone might not give you what you're actually hoping for, and what the real doctrine behind lasting freedom looks like instead. Let's start with the number itself, because it's simpler than most people think. Financial freedom, mathematically, comes down to one idea. If your investments can generate enough income to cover your living expenses forever, you never technically need a paycheck again. Most people aim to save around 25 times their yearly expenses to make that math work safely. That's it. That's the whole formula. Save enough, invest it, and let it cover your life. For years, that number was treated like the finish line. Reach it and you're free. Full stop, story over. But researchers studying real early retirees found something the spreadsheets never accounted for. Psychological distress in early retirement was highest among people with weaker social networks and fewer meaningful things pulling them out of bed in the morning. Not people with less money, people with less purpose. Let me paint the picture, because this is where it gets real. Imagine someone, let's call him Marcus, who spent 15 years living below his means, investing aggressively, tracking every dollar. He crosses $800,000 in investments in his mid-40s. He does the math, quits his job that summer, and steps into total freedom. For about a month, it feels incredible. Sleeping in, no meetings, no boss. Then week 5 hits, and Marcus realizes something uncomfortable. His job wasn't just a paycheck, it was also structure, identity, a reason to get dressed, a group of people who needed him for something. He didn't just walk away from work, he accidentally walked away from purpose, and he never replaced it with anything. This is the trap almost nobody warns you about. We're taught to build the financial engine, save, invest, compound, repeat, but almost nobody teaches you what to actually do once the engine is running and you're free to go anywhere. Freedom without direction doesn't feel like freedom, it feels like drifting. Here's a metaphor that makes this click. Imagine spending 15 years building a boat, every plank, every nail done with obsessive precision. You finally finish it, drag it to the water, and push off from shore, and only then realize you never decided where you were actually sailing to. A finished boat with no destination doesn't feel like freedom, it feels like flowing. This is exactly what separates people who reach financial freedom and thrive from people who reach it and quietly fall apart. Researchers at Stanford Center on Longevity found something worth remembering here. Retirees who kept purpose-driven activity in their lives, work they cared about, causes, relationships, ongoing goals, showed significantly better outcomes than those who simply stopped, not because they needed the extra money, because they needed the direction. So here's the real doctrine, the part most financial freedom content leaves out entirely. True financial freedom isn't just about the number in your account. It's built on 2 engines running at the same time, not one. The first engine is financial. Spend below your means, invest consistently, let compounding do the slow, quiet work over decades. The second engine is psychological. Build a life with purpose, relationships, and direction that doesn't disappear the moment your paycheck does. Most people spend 15 years building only the first engine and then act shocked when the second one was never installed. Go back to Marcus for a second, because his story doesn't have to end at week 5 feeling lost. In real cases like his, the people who recover do one specific thing. They stop treating freedom as an ending and start treating it as a beginning with fewer constraints. Marcus, in the version of this story that works, picks up consulting work a few months later, not because he needs the money, but because he genuinely enjoys it. That small shift changes everything. He's not unretiring, he's simply plugging the second engine back in. This reframes the entire goal. Financial freedom was never supposed to mean the finish line where life stops requiring anything of you. It was supposed to mean removing money as the reason you say yes or no to things, so you can finally choose based on what actually matters to you, not what pays the bills. That's the real financial doctrine behind financial freedom, not just hitting a number, building 2 things at once, a portfolio that can support you and a life that's worth supporting. Miss either one, and freedom quietly turns into something that looks a lot like the boat with no destination. So here's something worth thinking about today, wherever you are on this journey. If you hit your number tomorrow, quit the job, stopped the paycheck, what would actually fill your days? If the honest answer is, I don't know yet, that's not a failure. That's simply the second engine you haven't built yet. and the earlier you start building it, the less likely you are to end up floating. There's one more piece of this I haven't covered, the actual framework people use to design that second engine, the purpose side of freedom before they ever reach their number, so they're not scrambling to figure it out after the fact. If this changed how you think about financial freedom, follow along. Next time I'll walk through that exact framework, step by step, so you can build both engines at the same time instead of discovering the gap too late.